Good morning. It's another blistering hot summer day here in eastern North Carolina. It's also the day after Tropical Storm Elsa blew through the area. Now I have to preface right off the bat. Preface, is that the right word? I think that's the right word. Either way, I have to say right off the bat, we got incredibly lucky. Very little rain, which is a good and bad thing. I would have preferred a little more rain for the garden, but that's okay. And we didn't get winds as strongly or as heavy as perhaps further south or west of us. So in a sense, we were lucky. Nonetheless, we did get hit with a lot of strong wind last night after the storm passed over. So I want to take you around to the garden. We'll look at a few things and maybe do some work and tidy up after the storm. I'm going to start here in the tomato garden. And the tomatoes, for the most part, look okay. But if you notice, right here and there, I think there, yeah, there, over there, someplace, yeah, there you go. I had to put out some guide wires, or guide strings as it were, because the cages were getting blown over because of the tomato plants. And that was due to the ground being soft from the rain. So, trying not to lose the tomatoes with the wind, I did that. I also turned around and ran 6 strings. Here's one, there's another one, there's a bunch back here for the loofah, because the loofah is a little top heavy, very top heavy I should say, and it was literally being pulled out of the ground. This trellis set up here was literally being pulled out of the ground. Wind gusts apparently last night got up to 45 miles per hour. And even though I had a stake helping to hold it in, they were getting pulled out. And back here, that's that wire right there, this piece right here, that's supposed to be in the bed. That got pulled out last night. For the most part, the rest of everything else looks okay. These potatoes, yeah, these potatoes I think are going to have to come out maybe this week. They're pretty much done. I think we'll pull them out maybe this weekend, early next weekend. Maybe I'll put that up on Instagram. Let's go take a look at the corn, because the corn is very tall and it was catching a lot of wind last night. So it looks like everything, for the most part, is a-okay. I don't see any plants that have gotten pulled out of the ground. And look at my tassels. Is that what they're called? Tassels? Flowers, cornflowers, tassels, something along those lines. But I have quite a few of them, which is good, because then hopefully that all turns into stalks of corn. And stalks, cotton. Hopefully it all turns into corn. Words are hard. Over here we have some pumpkin. I had to do some emergency staking on the pumpkin because the vines were getting blown all over the place. They were getting a little beat up. Everything looks okay this morning. Swing over here to the watermelon. The watermelon looks all right. Again, I had to do some emergency staking to prevent the watermelon vine from getting blown all over the place. And here's something really cool. Now I have a bunch of little ones, but that's a pretty big watermelon right there growing up. I don't even know where I left off. Apparently I'm screwing up the camera work again. Anywho, I'm going to go through all of this stuff and I'm going to see about cleaning it up, tidying it up, get everything back to normal. I was just going through the tomatoes here, and before I had the camera issues, something was nibbling or gnawing on this guy. So that's all right, compost material. You know, I forgot to even ask, a little rude of me. How did you guys fare with the storm? Did your gardens get messed up? Hopefully everybody is a-okay. But if you want, maybe share some pictures if your garden got trashed or didn't get trashed, but hopefully all your gardens pulled through. One of the valuable lessons that this storm has taught me is that I need to order more stakes and try to do a better job staking the garden for high winds. And hopefully we don't get any more high winds until the end of the season. I've never grown tomatoes, obviously, in this environment. This is my first year in Eastern North Carolina. But one thing I'm learning is that the bugs here can do quite a number on your tomatoes. So, in fact, I see a bugger now. Get off. Get. Sorry, I'm trying to get the bug. Get off. He'll be back. I have some oops, there we go. I'm in frame now. I have some Captain Jack's dead bug, which I think has been kind of working, but because it's an organic bug spray, you have to apply it regularly. So when I get done with this, I'll give it all a good squirt. If you've ever used Captain Jack's dead bug here, please leave a comment below. Let me know what your feelings are about it, and if you use something else to help control your pests on your tomato plants, again, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Give me some suggestions here. Okay, now for the loofah, since I've now taken care of the tomatoes, although maybe that could, no, it's fine. So I've taken care of the tomatoes for the time being. Now I'm going to start working on the loofah. Now, because the way the loofah is growing and because I don't have it on a proper trellis, this is my first time ever growing loofah, and it's a lot of vine. I'm thinking next year I'm going to get myself a bigger, more proper trellis. I've seen people use cow panels, but I don't really kind of like the whole cow panel idea. So I'm thinking maybe a bigger trellis, maybe one that stretches from one bed to the other bed. Of course, that's going to involve a whole nother level of staking, especially if we get high winds due to tropical storms or hurricanes. That's a problem for next year. Right now, I do have this loofah growing. The plants that almost got pulled out of the ground, but did not completely get pulled out of the ground, which is good. I pushed them all back in. But I want to make sure this guy doesn't go anyplace anytime soon, and I don't have to have all these guide strings all about. So I think I'm going to take some canes and maybe put them alongside and or the middle and really push them down to the ground, tie everything to it, and then hopefully that will hold up until the next catastrophe. But for now, I think it'll be a better idea. So I'll take this cane right here, and I'm gonna see if I can get it as close as I can. Oh, see, got a loofah there, got the vine there. I want to try to get the cane as close as I can to the trellis, not damaging the plant, and then push this guy as deep as I can into the ground. Wow, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 loofahs right here. You know what? I think I'm gonna get a hammer. Should be good. Take a bit of string. Now I don't need more loofah than I have, and I have this trellis, which, like I said, is a bit overgrown. So what I think I'm going to do is, and I've done this before with no apparent harm to the plant, I'm going to cut back some of this loofah, and then maybe it'll put more energy into the fruit that it currently has instead of trying to produce new vine. The trick here is not to cut away any of the vine that the fruit is growing on. I can thin some of the top growth. That'll also help with the weight and balance, theoretically. I have no idea what I'm doing, by the way. So maybe you can already tell I've already thinned out quite a bit here. Again, hopefully it'll keep growing. That's what loofah does from what I can tell. It's a vine, it's just gonna keep growing. There's more flower buds here. They'll start blooming. It's just a matter of, I guess, keeping on top of this, as it were, and making sure it doesn't get to the too top heavy stage again, where then all these leaves basically act as an umbrella to pull the thing out of the ground. If you've grown loofah before and you have any advice, suggestions, etc., again, please feel free to leave a comment below. I'm open to all advice. See, I got a bunch of these long metal stakes. They're about 12 inches or so long. I'm getting some longer ones that I can use, again, to push into the ground and help support anything. In fact, now that I've just pulled these up, what I'm going to do is stake them into by the tomato plants to help hold down those cages, again, in case of future wind. As you can see, thinned out some. You can start to see through the tangle of vine. And I have these bamboo canes in. There's one over here, right there, and over there, and there's one on the other side. And here's a loofah. Some loofah flowers. Let me show you the loofah on the other side. So there's 1, 2. I think this is a third one over here. At least 3. Oh, there's one way in there. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. There's one in there. So it looks like I have at least 3, 4. Wait, here's one growing. I can't see if the camera's picking that up. It's 110 degrees and I'm starting to sweat quite profusely. But that's more information than you needed to know. Anywho, let's move on to the next area I want to look at, which is the dahlias, and then I think I have to deadhead a rose in the front. It looks like the dahlias survived the wind, which is great. I don't see any real damage at the moment, which is good. Oh, there, maybe got something there. Yeah, that doesn't look good. I'll take a closer look at that in a minute. I see deadheading that needs to be done, so I'll get to that. These guys are tall, they survive the wind. That dahlia does not look good. Eveline, I don't think Eveline's going to be a producer for me this year. That's okay, not everything that is planted grows. Ooh, Diva looks like maybe it got knocked over. I'll take a look at that in a minute. Maybe same thing with Southern Belle. I'm just going to go through real quick, start deadheading this side, and then I'll move off to the other side and maybe we'll take a close look at some of those plants. Okay, that all looks good. Ryan C looks like he's starting to produce, which is good. Boogie Nights has been a good performer for me so far this year. I think I'm going to take, no, that one I can leave. That one's fine. And Clearview, I think this is actually called Clearview Daniel. I just have it mislabeled. But either way, this one looks pretty good. It's been, again, producing well. You know what? I think I'm going to take a picture here. Looks lovely. Okay, now we'll move over to the other side. Okay, so let's look at Winky Colonel here first. And it looks like there's some sort of damage right at the base of the stem. There's an anthill apparently growing in the middle of Winky Colonel. This could be the reason why Winky Colonel's not doing well. I do have a problem with ants down here. Yeah, they've eaten away at the stems here. So, ow. Got bit by an ant. These are probably fire ants. They don't look like your typical fire ants, but either way, they bite. They hurt. Wow, that really hurt. It must be fire ants. I don't know if Winky Colonel here will survive or grow back. Yeah, these guys gotta be fire ants because that really hurt. They're obviously taking shelter underneath in the shade, and I guess either they disturbed the plant too much or they started nibbling at the base of the stems. Perhaps the stems were moving during the wind and they just attacked it and wound up killing it. It's not completely dead. It looks like there's a couple of good stems in here, so I'm just gonna leave this guy alone and maybe he'll come back stronger than better than before. The Winky Colonel next to it doing well. Nope, we got another fire ant hill and another broken stem. Not much that can be done about this, I don't think, at the moment. I'm gonna have to look into doing something, perhaps. If you're from the south and you have to deal with fire ants and the destruction that they can do, please leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Is there something I can put down, organic or otherwise? Thinking at this point, maybe trying the whole cornmeal or borax trick. I don't know. Either way, let's move on to the rest of the plants. This Eveline looks very rough, and I'm not sure what to do about it. But as I look down towards the bottom here, I see it is throwing up new shoots. So maybe what I'm going to do here, I'm going to cut some of the string here, is we're just going to take it back down to where it's good and let the new shoots come up. And let me show you what I mean. See the new shoots? Those little light green spots, those are new shoots. Diva looks a little worse for wear, and yeah, Diva's gone. Diva looks like it snapped, maybe because of the wind. Diva took a hard hit. I don't know if it'll come back again. Southern Belle, which I had so much hope for. Oh yeah, this one got attacked by ants too. Yeah, this is going. I'm just going to take that before they get it. They were already going into it. Well, there you go. Not everything. Corn down. I have a corn down. I don't know if I can save that. Somehow, for some reason, it feels hotter here at this exact moment than it did the rest of the yard. Okay, I think I fixed my corn. Hopefully it survives and thrives and produces. Like I said, the wind yesterday was something awful. Highest gust I think was 45 miles per hour. I'm surprised I only had the one stalk going over. When I looked out the window, a lot of it was going almost horizontal. I'm gonna go to the front. I'm gonna deadhead that Mr. Lincoln Rose. We'll take a look at the crater, and I think that'll wrap it up for today. I just had one blossom recently, so I'm just gonna take that out. It's dead now, obviously. I don't want to go into seed. Still have the one. And overall, the rose is looking pretty good in its pot. Again, I'm going to try to get this into the ground by the end of this month, hopefully. I was hoping last month, but best laid plans. Let's take a quick look at that crater. So here we are in the crater garden. Plants are growing well. Coreopsis, whatever this other plant is that I can't. You know what? Let's see if we can read that tag. That's bandana white lantana. So lantana is doing well. The coreopsis is doing well. Milkweed is hanging in there. Oxeye daisy. My comfrena, which the bees actually do seem to like right now, which is good. The nicotina is all closed up for the daytime. Hello, Mr. Bee. Oh, see if we can get a picture of you. Yes, got some good pictures. So, it's always important to take pictures in your garden, I think, so you can see what grew, what didn't grow, and you can remember all these lovely plants that did grow in the wintertime when nothing grows. Appears to have, I have some ant damage to some of my plants, damn fire ants, but here everything is doing well for the moment, which is good. The fountain needs to be cleaned again. The algae grows pretty quick, and it needs water because, well, like I said, we didn't get a lot of rain yesterday, just a lot of wind. So thankfully, not a lot of damage to the garden itself. And for those of you who did suffer some damage, I hope you recover quickly. I think that's going to be about it for today. I'm going to go inside, edit this video, and maybe I'll come back out later tonight and do another project or something. We'll see. You got to work when it's cool so you don't have the heat stroke. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. You never know what new antics I'm going to get up to next. If you don't follow me on Instagram, give a follow on Instagram. I'll put the thing around here someplace, and there's a link below. If you're on a mobile device, try to remember when you go home. Go on your computer, because it's always easier to see the links, I think, on the computer at home than it is on your mobile device. But check out those links below. I have merch. If you want, you can get yourself a snazzy Growing a Green Finger t-shirt, perhaps a mug, travel mug. Yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for today. It's hot. I'll catch you on the next one.